Hello, my Aloha tribe, and welcome to the Aloha Perspective, where you get a little bit of something and a whole lot of everything. Happy Monday. It is Monday. Why did I have to think about that? I had to think about that. Anyways, happy Monday. Excuse me one moment. I forgot to snooze my alarm this morning. So, I mean, as far as the mental health check-in, it's like, oh, checked in, and then I hit the wrong thing, and it's like, whoops. So, anyways, I think I'm live. Pretty sure I'm live. All right. So, seeing how good morning, Sammy. Good morning, Muddy. So you're probably wondering why I'm wearing the ears. I'm exploiting Easter Monday simply based on the fact that I didn't get to wear these yesterday and I was a little bummed. So I'm wearing them now. So, anyways, you can deal with it. You can love it. You can hate it. It's just today. I did not buy these for them just to sit on my suitcase. I bought them to wear them. And dad had a little bit of a, I wouldn't call it a setback, but he did a lot last week as far as like putting stuff together to donate. And then Friday we went out with because someone was in town that we don't really see. And then Saturday was my aunt and uncle's anniversary, and he was just kind of like, "Yeah, I'm really tired. I can't, I mean, when we left the party on Saturday, I think he'd hit his wall. So it's going to take time, right? I mean, that's the thing about life, right? When we're ill for a long time and we're down for a long time, it kind of sucks, right? It takes our energy a while to get back. So, anyways, oh, Sammy has similar ears. I know it was this or these really pretty purple ones that actually match Bucky Bunny. So I've had Bucky Bunny so for as long as I can remember. He's a little rabbit puppet, and he kind of looks like a purple shag carpet. And I thought, well, I could get those to match him. If I remember when I get home, because I keep him on my bedpost, but if I remember when I get home, I'll share Bucky Bunny because like I said, I can't remember how long I've had this bunny. I mean, for as long as I can remember. So I apologize for the gardeners. I forgot to close the window, so it's a little warm today. So, anyways, more. You know what? I thought I know on Thursday and Friday I didn't post those to YouTube. So those are more like fun. I'm not sure why. Oh, Thursday I just forgot because I went on an adventure with my cousin. So if you want to see those, they'll be up on Facebook for at least another 25 days. And then of course Friday was Oracle Friday. So, but yeah, I just got lazy, but I was thinking about it over the weekend. I follow this one. I let's see. Yeah, yeah. Remind me, Sammy. Remind me. I will be home on, well, I'll probably be doing my first show from home on the 2nd, May 2nd. So, yeah, because I'm going home on the 1st. I know, fingers crossed that dad does okay. So, anyways, I'm going home to cat sit my cats. But, anyways, so yeah, I thought I'm gonna move back into shadow work a little bit because there was something I was reading the other day. I'm on a list for Karma Gaia, GAIA, and I love their stuff and I save their stuff. And again, you can just find them. Just Google Karma, KARMA space Gaia, GAIA. You can follow them too. But a lot of my shows are probably going to be fed through this because they have a lot of good stuff. They have a lot of good stuff. But I found this one, Confidence Vampires. And I was like, Confidence Vampires? What the hell is a confidence vampire? So I'm going to break it down over a couple of days, okay? And here's the interesting thing. So it's the 7 signs of a karma vampire. So today we're going to go over the first part of just what it's talking about. Tomorrow we'll do 1 through 3, and then Wednesday is Self-Care Wednesday. So Thursday we'll do the other 4, and then Friday we'll go through breaking free from them. Oh, it says breaking free from the bite of the confidence vampire. So, we got a whole week of stuff ahead of us. But what I was going to say was interesting is I was going to the bottom to see what they all were, and I got to number 7, and I was on the phone with Sibling, and I was like, oh my God, this is me. This is me. And so then I got super insecure, which is still a shadow thing. I got super insecure, And I told her, I said, please, will you be on the phone with me while I go through the other six? Because I have to know, because she did not deny that number seven was me. And I called it out myself. And so we went through all of them. She's like, not you, not you, not you. So I was a little relieved. Okay. But here's the thing, if you're watching this and any of these resonate with you, don't feel bad. Okay. That's first and foremost. I mean, this is something that we're talking about recognizing in other people, but we may be the other people, right? We may be the people that we're looking out for. So a lot of that comes from the shadow. It's again, it's the triggers, it's the knee jerking, it's all this other stuff. So, like I said, if any of it resonates with you, don't panic. Just take a deep breath and figure out, how can I change this behavior? Is this part of my shadow work? Is this something that I do because, I either am coming from too good of a place or because I can't face my own demons? Okay, so let's start with this. Day one, confidence vampires. Confidence isn't about being the loudest in the room, but about trusting yourself enough to share your voice when it matters. When we hold back due to fear of judgment, we deprive the world of our unique perspectives. The confidence grows when we focus less on being flawless and more on being authentic. Each time you face a challenge with honesty about your abilities, acknowledging both strengths and limitations, you build a more resilient foundation of self-trust. Um, this is legit. Okay, that's getting really loud. Let me see if I can close this window. Oh, hi. Oh, anyways, do you see me up close? Do you see all my pores? But anyways, yeah, I think, I know this is a little hard, right? Oh, okay, so I'm sorry. Let me refocus here. I can hear my father's phone ringing through the bedroom door, and older sibling, just texted me. And there's certain people that are able to come through even when you're in do not disturb. So, and I know my brain is everywhere today. I don't know why. So, maybe it's testing me, right? Maybe it's testing me because, in the past, I would have said, you know what, Sammy, or older sibling, if she was on, I'm going to start this over because this is bad. But this is what it's talking about, right? Where it says, when true confidence grows when we focus less on being flawless and more on being authentic. So maybe this is just my brain giving you examples in real time, because it's like, whoa, I'm all over the place. The gardener, the sibling, the father. Oh, amen, right? Amen. So, I didn't mean to offend anyone. But that, sorry. I know. Shame on me. I'm Catholic. I know. I was writing something down today, and I'm all formally Catholic, and I'm all like, no, because I was baptized that way, and there's really no way to wipe that off. So I'm fine with being Catholic. I am. I mean, I'm kind of a lapsed Catholic, because you all know I'm very, very spiritual. But speaking of Catholicism, the Pope passed away. I know. I'm going to tie this into confidence, okay? Because when we hold back due to fear of judgment, we deprive the world of our unique perspectives. To me, Pope Francis was one of the more pioneering popes in recent years. I mean, everybody loved Pope John Paul, right? I mean, we thought that man was going to live forever. He's the Pope I remember growing up with. And then there was Pope Benedict after him. But Pope Francis, I believe he was a Jesuit priest before this. I can't remember. I'm sorry. But I really liked him. And there were a lot of old-fashioned Catholics that didn't, because he opened the doors. He opened our minds, right? He was the kind of person that showed his confidence as, the leader of one of the biggest churches in the world. And, he was like, it's okay to be you. It's okay to feel the things you do. It's okay to identify the way you do. It's okay to the sexual orientation of who you are. It shouldn't matter, how that works, as long as your heart belongs to God, right? Now, and that's the religious part of it. But I just liked how open-minded he seemed, and I remember when I was still at my last job, there were, there's some other fellow Catholics in there, and two of them, and this is interesting, okay, because I would have been the middle one because one was younger than me and one was older than me, and they both were just so traditional. They did not like him. And so, I would sit there and try to go, yeah, but he's so open-minded, and I think he's trying to teach us how to be open-minded. And I said, the thing with religion is it's always open for change. So if you want to go in the religious aspect of this, Jesus would have loved it. Jesus walked into the United States today, he would have been arrested and deported. Simple as that. And we all know it, but we don't want to admit it because for all the people out there who are religious, we've lost the meaning of what that's about. But that's not what this is about, because you guys know I'm spiritual, not religious. So anyways, yeah, Sammy says, God rest him. He seemed to be a really good man who was willing to stand up for what was right despite opposition. He was open-minded. I agree. And that's my whole point. I'm not trying to talk about religion because, as you all know, I'm a lapsed religion person. I am a spiritual person. I'm a metaphysical person now. But I liked him because he was open-minded. And that was the whole thing about this, the confidence, right? Let's break this down. Confidence isn't about being the loudest person in the room, but about trusting yourself enough to share your voice when it matters. You don't have to yell over people to be heard, okay? Those are the people that, like, say you're talking and all of a sudden someone interrupts. Yeah, but, like yesterday. Okay, so you all know I'm watching Bones, and I'm like right in the middle of Bones. And it's like, just started season 4. Oh, and they were in the UK. I was so jealous. So jealous. But anyways, Bones was talking, and then, she was talking about a very painful subject that had happened to her. And I don't want to give any spoilers. That kind of occurred in the season finale the season finale episode of season 3. And, and then he just kind of, stood up and was like, yeah, because blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, okay, confidence vampire, and I don't want this to become a term that we sit there and go, okay, confidence vampire. Sometimes we are the confidence vampire. And that's why I really, really wanted to put this into kind of the shadow work aspect of what we were doing. Because when we're working on our shadow, there's a lot of things that are going to come out that are going to hurt us, because that's the hardest part about shadow work, is looking inward and facing the things that we didn't want to face, that we haven't had the guts to face. And I'm not saying that if you don't have the guts to face it, that you're a coward. You're not. It's hard. It's hard work. And you really have to be ready for it. Some people may start it and then quit because it's just too much. And then they'll come back to it later without realizing that what they've already learned has kind of brought them a little bit farther along on their journey. And so, like I said, this last bout of shadow work that we've done is probably the third time since December 2022 when I first started. So if you average it out, it's like I'm doing it almost every year, right? And I'm finding more out about myself. And like I said, when we get to number 7 on Thursday, you're going to see what I mean, because, well, you're not going to see what I mean, but I'm going to give you a lot of examples on why. And sibling felt bad. Older sibling felt bad when I read it to her, and I'm all like, oh my God, this is me. And she was quiet. And I know when she goes quiet, it's because she's in her mind thinking, if I agree, is she going to get mad, or should I say something because, she'll want me to, because it's part of her growth. And I just told him, like, oh my God, sibling, this is me. And I said, it's okay. It's okay to admit it. It's me. And even when I went back through them and read it again, she's just like, no comment. And I'm just like, it's okay. And I'm not mad because I recognize this in myself. And I'll give you a little spoiler, okay? The Armchair Psychologist, number 7. I don't want to talk anymore on it because I'm going to have a lot to say about it on Thursday when we do get to that. But I'm not sure if Allie is still on, but hi. So anyways, I really do believe that true confidence grows when we focus less on being flawless and more on being authentic. And again, that's what I was saying about Pope Francis. He was authentic. Okay, so let's see, each time you face a challenge with honesty about your abilities, acknowledging both strengths and limitations, you build a more resilient foundation of self-trust. So this is really good because this is talking about well, let me see. I had it in my head and it just left. I do not know what's wrong with me today. I want to blame the gardener, but I'm pretty sure it's not him. So, oh, hi, Allie. Good morning. Or good afternoon. Sorry. But anyways, no, each time we face a challenge, thank you for coming on. Each time we face a challenge with honesty about our abilities, acknowledging both strengths and limitations, you build a more resilient foundation of self-trust. So I think where this is good is that, we a lot of times when we're fighting with our shadow and when we're trying to heal our shadow, everything has to be flawless. Everything has to be perfect. We want everything to look great. We want everything to be great. We want everyone to not see that, maybe you're hanging a streamer, right? And you had the tape, but the damn thing kept falling down. And so finally you're just like, well, you take your gum out of your mouth, you stick it there, and you're just like, oh, well, I'll deal with it later. So, don't do that. But my point is that that's a very minor example of when we're talking about, acknowledging both our strengths and limitations. It's okay to have limitations. It really is okay to have limitations. We are not going to be perfect at everything. We are not going to be great at everything. But just because you can't master one thing doesn't mean you can't learn it. If, like with writing, okay, I am terrible when it comes to punctuation. I mean, absolutely terrible when it comes to punctuation. Apparently, I like to use the Oxford comma as well, which I don't care. That is my friend. All right. But I used to panic about that. And then I thought, you know what? This is my writing style. And yeah, I probably got to work on the punctuation. Sammy said she would, edit my stuff for me. So one day when I get brave enough, I'll send it to her and ask her to edit it before I do anything with it. But I mean, here's the thing. In the past, I was always afraid that, of letting people see my stuff because I was afraid that they wouldn't like it or they would have some kind of criticism about it or, here's the thing. I'm going to throw this out there. If you ever read 50 Shades of Grey, you will notice that I am guessing she probably went through it and edited it. But the thing is, when you edit it yourself, you kind of miss things because you've already been in the text. You've already been in there and things that, there are certain things that are going to jump out at you and there are certain things that are not going to jump out at you. And there were a lot of different things that I saw. But here's the thing. Instead of feeling like, oh, I really shouldn't put myself out there because what if all these people judge it like other people are? I thought, you know what? Good for her. Good for her for just putting this out there. I have no shame. I read all 3 books. Um, and like I said, I got something completely different out of it than other people did. It actually helped start my shadow work journey without even realizing it was starting my shadow work journey because there's trauma in there. And it was like, oh, there's someone else that reacts to things the way I do. Not that way, okay, but mentally, when they build up walls, when they become defensive, when they knee jerk at things, when, they feel like the world was so against it, Oh, I know. Um, I'm working on it, guys. I promise. I promise. I have a lot of stories out there that I'm working on. I am going to go full tilt on this. All right, I'm going to go full tilt on this. So, anyways, you know what my dream would be? To just be able to grab my laptop and just travel somewhere to write. I think that's everybody's dream right now. I'm going to go on vacation. But I mean, I'm that weirdo that says, yeah, I want to go to like Fiji so I can sit on the beach writing. Or I want to go back to the UK and sit at a cafe or Paris and sit at a cafe or ride the train to Paris and, write, missing everything. But yeah, we all have dreams. It's okay to dream. It's okay to dream because you never know. Weirder things have been known to happen. So anyways, but yeah, so this week we're going to cover the confidence vampires. And like I said, tomorrow we're going to go over 1 through 3. We'll do self-care Wednesday. and then we'll be back to it on Thursday with 4 through 7. Wait till we get to now. I'm gonna have a lot to say about number 7 because when I read that, I was so embarrassed because I'm like, ooh, confidence vampires. This is gonna be a great subject. And then I was like, oh my god, I'm one of them. I'm one of them. So, like I said, if you're watching this, if you followed the self love series, if you followed the shadow work series, and you come through this series and you identify with any of 1 through 7, don't feel ashamed. Don't feel bad. Okay? We learn these things so we can either set boundaries with people who we recognize these things. And that doesn't mean you have to walk away from them, okay? But it does mean that you are allowed to set these boundaries. Or if you are the confidence vampire, this is the time that you can look in and say, okay, how do I heal this? How do I not be this person? And like I said, I already gave you a preview of number 7, the armchair psychologist. And you know what? I'll add a little bit to that. I went through therapy, and apparently I think I'm a therapist now, and I recognize that. I recognize that very quickly because I've seen who I've done this to, and I've seen, how I've done it. And I'm not going to lie. I always thought it was coming from a good place. It's not coming from a confidence vampire kind of place. It really was coming from a good place. But here's what I learned with shadow work. And this is probably why I recognize this particular trait in me is that I can't fix other people. Like I said, I share my story to help other people heal theirs, but I can't heal their story. I can listen, I can hold space, I can tell them what I think if they ask, and I can just be there for them. I can hug them or I can send hugs if I'm far away, but I can't fix them. I can't do the work for them. And if I can't fix them and I can't do the work for them, it really isn't fair for me to judge their path. It isn't. It's not fair for me to say, oh, well, you're feeling this way because of this. Regardless of whether we're hitting the nail on the head or not, if this person, whoever it is that you are talking to and kind of playing the armchair psychologist, if they're not ready for it, you can't do anything about it. So as you know, I am going to expand on that. I'll probably repeat some of this that we talked about now, but that will be Thursday. But I think I wanted to come clean on that on today, so that I'm not just talking out of my ass. That this is legit stuff. These are things that this is why I tied it in with the shadow work, because I thought, oh my God, this is really great shadow stuff. This is those things that we don't see when we're doing our journey with the shadow, because, we're just kind of like, oh, yeah, well, that's them. Because remember in the shadow, what we were talking about, sometimes we get angry with other people because we can see ourselves in them. And when we see ourselves in them, we have the inability to fix it in ourselves. Am I proud that I'm a number 7? Hell no. But you know what? I am proud that I recognize. That's the whole point, is recognizing it. So, oh, thank you, Allie. She says I can be her armchair psychologist anytime. And I think when I read it, you guys will understand what it means. I mean, I am happy to listen and therapy anybody, and by that I mean I'm happy to just sit there and listen. I'm happy to sit there and go, and how does that make you feel? The first time my therapist said that to me, I laughed. And we both laughed because she knew that I watched a lot of movies and stuff. And, and we were just kind of giggling because it was just kind of just like, I was wondering if you would catch it. It's like, oh yeah. It's like, I love that. It's like, how did that make you feel? But the reason they ask that is because we don't normally ask ourselves, how did that make me feel? And when we're presented it by someone else, it kind of makes us think, right? Like, oh, how does that make me feel? Like, why are they asking me this? Because you're kind of put on the spot, and, you know, being uh, guided to answer, So, yeah, but I'm happy to listen anytime. So, you guys know where my DM is. Um, I know Sammy and Allie are both very far away from me. Sammy's kind of our middle point, I think, between Allie and I, because Allie's in the UK. Sammy's in Georgia, and of course I'm way over here on the West Coast, so the left coast. So, anyways, I'm gonna read this one more time, and then I'm gonna let you go, and I'll see you back here tomorrow. Okay. So, confidence isn't about being the loudest in the room, but about trusting yourself enough to share your voice when it matters. When we hold back due to fear of judgment, we deprive the world of our unique perspectives. True confidence grows when we focus less on being flawless and more on being authentic. Each time you face a challenge with honesty about your abilities, acknowledging both strengths and limitations, you build a more resilient foundation of self trust. Now, remember, it's okay to have limitations. That used to be one of my big issues. I used to hate having limitations because I just always wanted to be flawless and perfect, because I had my own insecurities. I had my own self doubt and low self esteem and low confidence. And my dad and I talked about this yesterday. He's like, I don't understand. He's all, and I said, no, I said, you and mom did a great job trying to instill confidence and self-esteem in me. I said, but sometimes things happen that upend you. And, when you have the trauma and everything, it just, you can only focus on one thing at a time. And confidence wasn't one of them. Just trying to maintain being a human being was hard enough, especially at that young of an age, and keeping the world's biggest secret at that young of an age. So, and then your brain just kind of forms around it. And that's why we do shadow work. That's why we do shadow work. I know it's probably hard to take me serious with the bunny ears on, but like I said, I didn't get to wear them yesterday, so I'm exploiting Easter Monday. Yeah, and then today I'm going to go find all the half price Easter candy. Oh, but I have Peeps. Oh, you can't see them. I should have brought them over here. I got blue Peeps. They're so cute. I know. I love them in my cocoa. I just like how they float around on the top. Um, I'm that weirdo that likes Peeps, guys. So, anyways, I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day. Allie, Muddy, thank you both for coming on so much. I appreciate it. Oh, Sammy, thank you for that. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I thought I would keep my hair curly this morning. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go with the curls, and I don't know, I may wear this all day. And if anyone says I'm just celebrating Easter Monday. So anyways, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I probably take them off because they're a little tight on my head. And one of the reasons I also didn't wear them yesterday was because woke up with a headache. And you know how that goes when things are squeezing the life out of your head, because these are made for kids. All right. And I have a big head. And older sibling always gets mad when I say that. She's like, no, you don't. You're fine. And it's like, no, like legit. I know I have a big head. Baby sibling and I were talking about it because my older nephew, he has a big head like me. And she's all, yeah, I had to squeeze that thing out of me. And it's like, nope, I know. It's like my mom never complained about that, but she probably should have, because I got a big noggin. So I have no shame. And we all have different size heads, right? And mine just happens to be like, ooh, big. So I just want you to make sure you can see my damn face. All right. Now I'm getting punchy. So anyways, Sammy says she has a big head too. She understands. So, okay, sorry, it was reconnecting. So, Allie, thank you for about the ears. Sammy, thank you about the ears. I think you said something, and if you didn't, I know you were thinking it. So, oh yeah, she said she had ears like this. I will do my best to remember Bucky Bunny. I'll put it in my planner about Bucky Bunny. Who knows? I'll have a guest host, Bucky Bunny. So, anyways, but yeah, so just look in the mirror. I matter. I am enough. That's all you need. I matter. I am enough. All right. And so, yeah, I'll be back here tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Pacific time, Facebook Live. All lives are public. Anybody can watch under Shelly Marie Lucas. And then you can find me across the board, either under the Aloha Perspective or Shelly Marie Lucas, or under Shellbell's Quest on Twitter. All right. So have a great day, everybody. Love you too, Sammy. Love you, Allie. And I will talk to both of you and whoever else joins us, or I'll talk to Sammy. I don't want to force anyone to come on, but she's looking forward to the confidence thing. So I'll see everybody tomorrow. I don't know what's wrong with me today, but it's going to be a fun day. All right. So have a great day, everybody. Thank you for watching.